Welcome, everybody, to On the Road to Success Conversation. And here I have a special interview for you with Pablo Murillo, who is a coach for leadership and empowerment. And he is an incredible leader in his industry, and he coaches individuals and corporations and businesses. And his main expertise is actually labor unions and unions. And he is incredible society changer. He knows his craft. He is very confident, he's very strong and powerful, and he actually can cause changes in society and in your business and for your own life that can create more, so you can create more impact on your surroundings, on your business, on your clients, and on your services, with your services. So here with you, I want to introduce you to Pablo Murillo. He's based in LA. I actually found him through a big conference that I was in at Mega Success with my coach JT Fox, and I had the pleasure to talk to him, and I was so impressed with what he has accomplished, all the challenges that he has overcome, and all the knowledge that he has about leadership, about entrepreneurship, that I needed to have a conversation with him and share it with my audience. So this is Pablo with you. So Pablo, how are you doing?
I am doing great, Neni. I am so excited to be here today, and thank you for having me.
Yes, it was such a pleasure talking to you and getting to know you and seeing all the things that you have done in the past with your clients and the corporations that you've made a change to. And I want to ask you, so tell us a little more about how you do that change in those businesses and the corporations.
Great question, Neni. Well, a little bit of my background, I think, will help explain how I made those changes. I was born originally in Nicaragua, and I grew up during the Sandinista Revolution of the 1970s. So my entire childhood was in war during the Civil War, the Sandinista Revolution. And early in my childhood, I learned something. And I learned that when people get together, no matter how big that challenge may be, they can overcome it, working together in unity. So when I came to the United States, I kind of had that wire into my brain. And when I saw challenges, when I was, for example, in college, and they were going to cut the programs for students of color back in UCLA, back in 1993, I had a wire in my mind that if students got together, we can stop those cuts from happening. After I graduated, I still had the same thinking, and I saw so many challenges in our communities, right? In the Latinx community, the African American community, the working class community, so many places where there are no resources for the safety net, healthcare, you name it, right? All those things. And I've always thought workers can get together and fight for a better future for their families, right? And be able to help them be better employees too, because I don't agree with thinking of saying, give me more, but I'm not gonna give anything back. But if an employee can perform at the highest level possible, deliver on what the boss is requiring, then I think it's only fair that some of the prosperity that's created should be shared with that employee. And so when I approach my work as a union rep for the last 26 years, that has been basically my focus, to help an individual become better themselves, a better father, a better mother, a better sister, a better brother, have a better employee so that we can be a better leader, so that we can have a better world.
That is an amazing why. When you really understand why you're doing things like Pablo is just explaining, then you actually have a drive and you can see his passion and the purpose driven life and the purpose driven work. When you have a purpose driven work that you know that you're going to impact society, you're going to impact the performance of the businesses, the performance of your own life and your personal life, like to be a leader in your community, to be a leader in your work, then you know that you're making a difference in others and in your own life as well, because also your own family will be proud of you. So that's a really beautiful why to do a purpose driven life that you've been leading. And I'm so honored to really get to know you and to really showcase you here in my podcast, because people need this. People need to be empowered. People need to be leaders. People need to change their environments to create better things for themselves, better things for the community. And when you said, when the power and the unity and the getting together with other people makes more impact, right? The more you make alliances, then you can join forces and make a bigger impact than just by yourself. We cannot really go to the mountain. The mountain comes to us, but we cannot go to that mountain. The mountain never comes to us. We could have to go to the mountain and climb it, but we cannot climb it by ourselves. We have to climb it with someone like Pablo that coaches you, makes you a better leader, and pushes you all the way so that you can create change around you. So that's fantastic. And now tell me, Pablo, what besides those challenges from your childhood, living in Nicaragua with the Sandinista regime and all that, what are the challenges that you are facing here in the United States? And was the number one challenge that you faced to reach to the success level? Because we're talking here about on the road to success, we reach a lot of obstacles, but if we can identify from other people's, if we can learn from other people's experience and identify the challenges that may arise for others, then we can get there faster, right? So can you help our audience here telling what is your main challenge that you faced and how did you solve it?
I think for a lot of us, this will be one that I want you to flag. Do not allow the events in the world, do not allow the experiences of the world or the negativities of the world to decide who you become. Do not allow that to decide who you become. You see, because of the way that I grew up, and obviously as a child, it had a huge impact on the way that I saw the world. Imagine a child that grows up going to Disneyland, right? As opposed to a child that grows up in a civil war, completely different worlds. And although I understand that the impact on a child is different and inevitable, at some point in your life, as you become aware, you need to decide that whatever happened to you is not the reason why you will continue to say that this is the way you are because of that. At some point, you gotta say, it's true that happened. It's true I wasn't given the best chances. It's true there is racism. It's true there is discrimination X, Y, and Z. But that is not an excuse why not to be the best that you can be today. So in my opinion, we have to look at the experiences that we have in the world, the events in our past, and anything that may happen today or tomorrow, and be able to say, I'm not going to allow that event to decide who I become. And take full responsibility for who you are today and who you become tomorrow. Because what I had to do was, I had to let go of the anger that I had, the rage that I had of growing up in a war, feeling like I was completely undercut or giving such an unfair life, right? And let go of that anger and say, today I decide to be a better me. Today I decide to be a contributor to society. Today I decide to help somebody else, rather than being in a war mode for the rest of my life. And so I think that that's the main thing. Decide that you will have complete responsibility of who you become, and do not allow those events to decide for you.
That's a beautiful message. And I
like that. You like that, Neni?
Yeah, that is a beautiful message. That is a very important point, because sometimes we let the external things affect us in such a way, and we identify ourselves with those circumstances, and we cannot see beyond that. Like the identity, when we associate our identity with our circumstances, associate our identity with our feelings, we are beyond that, beyond the circumstances that create different, I want to say, discomfort. So when the circumstances create discomfort, create pain, create disagreement right inside, we have to know that we're not that disagreement, we're not that anger, we're not that disappointment, we're not that problem, that we are more than that. We have capabilities for more, that if you are in a different circumstance, we can flourish, that we can change our mindset and the things. And of course, when we used to having a bad circumstance around us, when we go to a different place or a different circumstance where things are different, it may be better, maybe even slightly better, we don't see it, because all we see is the past. So when we see the past all the time, we stay in that anger, we stay in that discomfort, right? And that pain, and we can't see. We have blinders on our eyes, and we don't see the opportunities. but knowing people like you, is connecting with people like you, and also aligning yourself with the people around you in the communities, that makes us stronger, makes us see things clearer, right? Like with the leaders like you that create other leaders sometimes. So tell me about being a leader from the front. You look like you're a leader from the front. You're showing your example. You're leading by example, by being a leader yourself in your community and making a change, by causing those changes in school and everything. So what would you tell, what is your message in terms of the leadership? What is the main leadership message that you have for the community?
Number one, I would like to redefine what leadership is and the definition that we oftentimes hear. Now, leadership has many forms, but most of the time when I have worked with individuals, I hear them say often, oh, I don't know if I'm the leader type. Oh, I don't know if I can be a leader, right? People made those kind of statements. And the reason why that occurs is because we are conditioned to think that leadership is for the politician, for the company owner, for the entrepreneur, right? Or for somebody, the public speaker, for example. And a lot of times we don't see ourselves under that light. So I want to redefine what leadership really is, because through 26 years of working with people, developing their leadership, me studying books, Maxwell, etc., right? Reading many books about it. My belief about leadership is this, and this is my definition. Leadership is that decision by any individual to become more relevant in the world around them. Listen to what I said. The decision by an individual to become more relevant in the world around them. I have met people who I have developed and they never get on stage to speak, but guess what? They're behind the curtain, making everything happen. Are they leaders or not? Yes, they are. Yeah. Then I met other people who were under the desk, so scared of their bosses. And after I built them up, they were on stage talking to everybody, let's go, let's do this, right? They were leaders also. So there are different types of leadership. And so if you ever find yourself saying, oh, I don't know if I can be a leader, I want you to completely remove that idea from your head, because the question is not if you can be a leader. The only question should be, what kind of leader would you like to be? And that journey can take you into many different directions, right? So that's number one. Number two, I want you to know that the quality of your life right now, whether it's in relationships, financially, in your career and profession, the quality of life that you have in those areas is a reflection of your own leadership. That's what it is. You want to improve in those areas, you gotta improve on your own leadership in those areas. You see, for you to lead others, guess what? You gotta lead yourself first. Like I had to lead myself out of the anger mode that I used to live in because of the way I grew up. I had to lead myself out of that. And doing so, I understood how to help others, to lead them out of the areas that they are in, where they may feel that they're not becoming the best that they can be. So keep those things in mind, the definition of what leadership is and what you can do to actually lead yourself first before you can lead others. And the last thing that I want to say is this, and I never hear nobody say it, but I'm going to say it. If you want to know the best example of leadership, then follow what a woman does, what a mother does. We always talk about leadership, about being servant to others, giving everything you have to others, right? Jumping into something that you don't know if you succeed and just jumping in. Being able to get up every day and stay enthusiastic from failure to failure. Now you tell me, what else can embody those characteristics but a mother? A woman that goes into something that she's never done. It's amazing to like even give birth. There has this little baby that said, I don't know how to do this. There's no, last time I checked, there's no manual that comes with a baby, right? And then every day she has to do this, every day. And at the end, she puts everything into that baby boy or girl, right? And then she transforms that boy into a man, transforms the little girl into a woman. That's real leadership. And if the world will follow more succinctly what a mother does as the blueprint for leadership, this world will be a better place. That's my message, and I endorse this message.
Yes, that's fantastic, Pablo. That's an incredible analogy, how to be a leader, the leadership example of a mother versus the leadership example that you can be, all the different challenges of a mother not knowing how to do it because they've never experienced it. You cannot experience beforehand before you do it. You have to just do it. So it's really scary. And so this actually is, we're talking about fears, right? Like you may face a challenge that is causing you a fear. Every mother has fear, like what's going to happen, how is my belly going to grow? So the same thing, we experience fears in challenges, in business, in life, in our corporate life, in our little entrepreneurship endeavors, and all these fears can be overcome, and they overcome by you becoming a leader of yourself, becoming a leader and leading you out of those fears, leading you out of the mindset that may block you from the actions, right? It's an action, and also trying to be relevant. How can you get out of the mindset, you become your own leader, but then how do you become relevant to others and then be present there to make a change that is applicable to the current situation that we're living, right? So this is an incredible analogy. I really I love that analogy because, of course, I'm a woman and I don't have kids, but I understand that analogy very well because it's very scary for many women. So women are so powerful and they're leaders, and we can be definitely. I agree with your statement about what kind of leader can you be, because you can lead from the front and you can lead from the back and you still are a leader. You can push people, you can empower people, and you don't have to be the face of the lead. You can empower people from the back and then push them for others to be leaders, and then you're still being a leader. You're strategizing from the back and then you're pushing and you're getting other people to have the face. And this happens in business all the time. There are people that are behind the curtains and there are people that are on stage pushing the lead. So I really admire everything that you've achieved and everything that you do for the unions, for the businesses, for the people, to empower them, to make them the best person that they can be in their life. And now I wanted to transition, because I know that we're both from Latin America, we're Latinx people. So I wanted to separate a little bit for the audience, for those out there, para todos aquellos que nos están escuchando, la comunidad latina que nos escucha y toda mi audiencia en Venezuela, en España, en todas partes de Estados Unidos, que me sigue. Quiero mandarles un mensaje especial porque Pablo aquí tiene unas cosas muy importantes que decirle y quería que él mismo con sus palabras le diera un mensaje muy especial para que ustedes puedan ser líderes en su comunidad. Ahora que mucha gente, yo soy de Venezuela, mucha gente ha migrado de Venezuela para todo el mundo, en realidad, Latinoamérica, Europa, Estados Unidos. ¿Qué mensaje le tienes tú para todos esos latinos que han migrado como tú y quieren tener éxito como tú y quieren sobresalir como tú? A ver, ¿cuál es el mensaje que tienes para ellos? ¿Qué les puedes decir a ellos?
Pues muchas gracias, Neni. Quiero mandarle una felicitación y un saludo a toda la gente latina en todas las partes del mundo, especialmente, ¿verdad?, nosotros que estamos aquí en los Estados Unidos. Uno de los mensajes que me gustaría compartir con todos ustedes es de que tenemos que acordarnos de dónde venimos. La verdad es de que aquí en los Estados Unidos hay obstáculos, ¿verdad? Hay cosas difíciles que tenemos que saber cómo sobrepasar. Pero ¿sabes qué? Yo creo que 9 veces de 10, los obstáculos que hemos vivido en nuestros países son más difíciles que los obstáculos que hay aquí. Muchas veces yo cuando estoy aquí y a veces me pongo un poquito estresado, uy, ¿qué pasa? A veces, mira, me tengo que levantar yo mismo y decir, pero Pablo, ¿qué te está afligiendo de esto vos aquí? Lo que has vivido, ¿se te olvidó? Esto no es nada, esto es como caminar en el parque, ¿verdad? Así que quiero recordarles de que tenemos una fuerza tan increíble como latinos, de verdad, de donde venimos, que se nos tiene que encalcular en la mente esto y no olvidarnos de dónde venimos. Tenemos una fuerza inmensa, ¿verdad? Así que eso es número 1. Número 2, no dejen de que la gran montaña, como estaba diciendo Neni, ¿verdad?, que la gran montaña se nos venga encima, porque esa montaña puede ser sobrepasada, un paso a la vez. Nunca crean de que no podemos hacer una diferencia, que solo nosotros muchas veces pensamos, oh, pues, ¿qué voy a hacer yo solo, verdad? Que tenemos un pensamiento de algo que queremos cambiar, tal vez en nuestra comunidad, en nuestra vida, pero el pensamiento entra por aquí y 3 segundos después sale por aquí y ya ni siquiera movimos ni un dedo y nos dimos por vencido. Hay que escuchar atentamente esa voz, esa intuición que nos hable, que nos dice, hey, hace esto, ¿qué aquello? ¿Me entendés? Esa voz es como la lucecita del carro cuando vas manejando y se te va acabando la gasolina y se enciende. Tú, ¿verdad? Cuando ves la luz, decís, hoy se va a acabar la gasolina, tengo que salir a poner gas, ¿verdad? Uno nunca diría, oh, se encendió la luz, nah, ¿qué importa? Voy a seguir manejando, ¿verdad? Porque los que lo hacen, los ven en el freeway, ¿verdad? Están ahí esperando que le traigan gasolina. Esa voz que escuchas en la mente es como esa lucecita de tu espíritu, guiándote, diciéndote, hey, aquí hay algo que tenemos que hacer, aquí hay un propósito, aquí hay una misión que tenemos que completar. Así que no la ignoren esa voz, escúchenla, piensen y después tomen acción para que puedan desarrollar su mismo liderazgo, porque la verdad es que podemos hacer gran diferencia cada uno de nosotros contar de que decidamos que queremos hacer la diferencia. Esa es la magia, yo creo.
Sí, estoy totalmente de acuerdo contigo, porque cuando nosotros ignoramos nuestra intuición, ignoramos la voz que nos habla dentro, que tenemos que hacer esto, pero tengo miedo, no estoy segura de hacer esto, no estoy seguro de lanzar esta empresa, no estoy seguro de trabajar en esta idea, no estoy seguro de comunicarme con esta persona, porque ¿qué van a decir de mí? Yo soy un inmigrante, ¿verdad? A veces no escuchamos eso y a veces tenemos también esas luces, como dices tú, esas alarmas que salen y no las ignoramos, alarmas del el mismo cuerpo, nos da una alergia y no le prestamos atención y nos vamos al médico, ¿verdad? Y no debemos ignorar todos los signos. Si estamos estresados, si estamos pensando, tenemos ansiedad, algo tenemos que resolver, algo tenemos que hacer y tomar una decisión y tomar acción. Nada se hace si no tomamos una acción. Las acciones vienen gracias a la decisión que tomamos de tomar esa acción y también de estar en contacto con gente como Pablo, estar en contacto, llamar a la gente que sabe, la gente que ha pasado por esa misma avenida antes, ¿verdad? La gente que ha tenido ya la experiencia de haber tenido éxito, de haber pasado por esa vía y haber tenido la capacidad de resolver todos los obstáculos que se nos presentan, como la gente que me llama a mí, la gente que te llama a ti, Pablo, para realmente eliminar todos los obstáculos de ese camino. Hay muchos caminos para el éxito, definitivamente, pero esos caminos, todos tienen obstáculos. Y hay personas que tienen todas las soluciones para todos los obstáculos que se van a presentar. Pablo tiene la experiencia por ser un líder él mismo en su vida y en las compañías con que él ha trabajado, con las union, con los union también aquí en Estados Unidos, y él puede ayudarte también a todos los obstáculos que tú puedas tener. Así que sí, pueden llamar a Pablo y eso es para concluir que eso es muy bueno el mensaje que le acabas de dar a la comunidad latina, a la comunidad que me sigue, la comunidad que va a escuchar esto en español. Gracias, de verdad, porque mucha gente acaba de llegar aquí y mucha gente no habla inglés y no sabe cómo comenzar, ¿verdad?
Sí, sí, sí. Y Neni, y también te iba a decir que otra cosita, para nosotros que somos latinos que hablamos, ¿verdad? Dos lenguajes. Una de las cosas que yo tuve que también aprender era de que yo tengo acento cuando hablo inglés, pero al comienzo yo creía que mi acento era problema. Y mira, cada vez que yo trataba de tirarme mi discurso en frente de una audiencia, completamente me destruía mi autoestima, porque, ay, el acento, no saben lo que estoy diciendo, que no sé qué, que no sé cuándo. En verdad, nuestro acento no es un problema, es una versatilidad. Y es algo que podemos usarlo para que nos escuche la gente. Pero tenemos que practicar. Yo sacaba el diccionario, mira, y repetía las palabras hasta que las sabía cómo pronunciar. No, ahora, no estoy tratando de erradicar mi acento cuando hablo, no. Solo quiero ser claro cuando digo las palabras, es lo único. Así que el acento no es el problema, es no ser claro cuando hablas, es que el problema, y eso se puede sobrepasar con práctica. Eso también quería decirlo.
Eso está muy bien dicho, es muy importante que hayas mencionado eso, porque claro, la autoestima también se ve afectada por la comunicación. Si tú vienes de un lugar donde te puedes comunicar efectivamente, te puedes comunicar claramente, te sientes más en confianza, tienes autoestima, tienes más confianza en ti mismo y por supuesto puedes ser mejor líder. Y cuando pierdes la comunicación efectiva, pierdes la comunicación, la confianza en lo que como tú te vas a comunicar, entonces eso causa problemas en la autoestima y en la confianza y te afecta la manera como tú vas a ser un líder. Pero eso, como dices tú, simplemente práctica, educación, información y práctica y visualización. Dice práctica, visualización y acción es lo que te hace llegar al éxito, ¿verdad? Si tú visualizas, tú practicas, si tú te informas bien, puedes llegar a tener excelencia en lo que sea que te propongas. Entonces, eso es muy importante. Por eso es que Pablo ha logrado su éxito, su liderazgo y toda su experiencia lo ha hecho pues con práctica y con acción. Pero todo a la final no puedo enfatizar más que sea la acción es lo que hace que puedas tener un pie delante de otro, ¿verdad? Y eso es muy
Sí.
importante. Yo de verdad que estoy orgullosa de haberte conocido y de que mi audiencia pueda escucharte. Laura, finalmente quería decirte, how can we connect with you? How can we find you? Where are you on the social media? ¿Cómo te podemos comunicar? ¿Cómo podemos hablar contigo? Where do we call you? Where are you? A ver, dime.
Claro, claro. Entonces, en Facebook, que es verdad, una de las plataformas que uso, pueden ir a Genesis, así, ¿verdad? Así como ven ahí la palabra.
With the
Yo
Y.
quería, sí, yo quería que se llamara Génesis, ¿verdad? Como el libro de la Biblia, pero esa ya estaba tomada, entonces la deletreé con una Y, Yenesis.
Genesis.
Genesis Leadership en Facebook, ¿verdad? Y ahí vengan a mi página y if you like the page, Genesis Leadership on Facebook, then I can send you an invitation to join my group, which is called Expert Leader Mentorship, okay? Where I give trainings and information for people to develop their leadership. On Instagram, you can also follow me at Genesis Leadership Trainings on Instagram. And those will be the main ways that you can reach me, okay?
Great. So Genesis Leadership Training on Instagram, Genesis Leadership Training on Facebook, and DM Pablo's to get an invitation to take you to his Facebook group. So if you want to be part of his Facebook group, just send him a message, go to his socials, follow him, engage with him, comment on his posts. So you can see he posts a lot of good information there, a lot of tips, and it gives a lot of value because being a leader is also about giving value. If you don't give value first, then how you expect others to give value to you? So that's what he's always saying. So this is absolutely fantastic. I'm so proud to know you. I'm so proud to know you and your wife because you don't know his wife is like a powerhouse.
She is.
She's an amazing woman, and maybe we'll get another podcast with her because she is like absolutely adorable, and we had a blast.
I agree. She's adorable.
Oh yes, I know you're biased, but actually he's right. She is adorable. I can attest to that. She's a powerhouse woman. Behind every great man, what is behind the great man? A great woman. And he definitely.
Oh, you know what, Neni? I heard that behind a great man, there's a woman rolling her eyes.
Oh no, rolling her eyes because she knows better what to do. She knows how to do it better, right? So women are very powerful. Women are great at business, and women are great supporters. We are nurturers because we can actually do so many things that men can't do, right? As being a mother, for example,
That's
then we
right.
have a different sensitivity, right, for business, for life, and we can provide something special. And he has an incredible wife, and I am very honored to know you guys, and I can't wait to see you in person again. Here as we are neighbors, so I'm happy that my audience got to know you. I can't wait for them to reach out to you if you have a business and you need some leadership training and you want to have to help your employees to have peak performance. He is the man. If you have a union and you want to have some training for the union, Pablo is the man. If you're an individual and you want more confidence and you want more self-esteem and to be a leader, become a better leader in your community, in your life, even in your personal life with your family, become a leader of your family, you can reach out to Pablo at Yenesis leadership training. And he will definitely send you a message and will interact with you, and you can easily get in contact with him. He's really an amazing person to talk to, so I can't wait. Thank you so much. One final last words for everyone.
Just actually about what you were saying. When I was in college back in 1993, if you Google this, UCLA hunger strike, you're gonna see that there was a hunger strike at UCLA put together by an organization called Conscious Students of Color. And that organization started when I sat on a stair one day worrying about the tutoring programs being cut in the university, because I needed the tutoring programs because I was still grasping with learning English. And so I just want you to know that if you're a person out there or somebody, a union staff or a union leader, a member union leader, you got to put the effort into your leadership development and find somebody who can help you develop that. Because if you got commitment, that is the platform upon which you build your leadership. Commitment is something that you got to bring to the table. I cannot bring commitment for you. You got to have that. But if you have commitment, we can build everything else. For anybody out there who wants to be a great leader in the unions, give me your commitment. I'll give you everything else, and we can be at the top where the champions belong.
Yes. Commitment, communication, community, and confidence. These are all the things that Pablo can help you with. And I'm so honored. And with that, so see you next time, guys. So follow Pablo, follow his work, and make sure that you connect with him, ask him questions. There's no commitment, but at the same time, we want all your commitment. So with that, thank you so much. And this is Neni, and I'm out.